That's why I'm not hearing it. There we go. Can you guys hear me? There we go. There we go. Can you guys hear me now? Sorry guys, I'm getting everything set up. I'm on a new doing this live today, so it's a little different. Gotta adjust everything. It's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk Coco, drink more. We got two. Give me a second, folks. I'm gonna get it all fixed for you. Don't worry. Let's see. What the heck is this? I don't know what the heck that is. He got the right diet. Mr. Nice Guy looking heavy, I might try it. Maddie, Courtney, and Evo Knievel. We all know the Lord is coming back for his people. Come get some J. Oh, there we go. That's what that is. I fixed it. What's up to Kimto? I got to say hello to Julius Newman, Rigo Brothers, me Vato. Hemi Graham, got the link on like Pronto. Jim Bob Silly Guy, Deborah's head honcho. Gene Spratt and Gene Smith, don't confuse them. Boris might snap off. I'm gonna get it fixed. I know you guys want to see your chat room in here, so I'm trying to get the chat room in here for you guys. What's up, AJ? You listening to your dad's song right now? There we go. Can you guys hear me? Oh shit. Hold on, we're doubling here. There we go. I fixed it. Let's see. There we go. We got the chat for you guys. What's this one here? Too much stuff on. Okay, that's the one we want there. Turn that one off. We got 2 hours of chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and Drunk Uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 mods for the trolls. Let's roll. Yo, it's the Eddie. Trying to turn everything off, guys. Here, hold on. Give me a second. Let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Okay, that's what we want to see. We got 2 hours of chat. Something else is on Streamlabs. Eddie Block and Drunk Uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 mods for the trolls. Let's roll. There we go. We got the EddieBlockFilms song playing. How's everybody doing today? So I gotta change the title too. Hold on. There's so many things that I tried typing in the right title here and it wouldn't let me. So let me change the title. That way we can get some people to come in real quick. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all are doing well. Shoot, I still gotta order my dinner. I'm gonna get a steak tonight because I heard that they're paying for my dinner, so I'm gonna get one of their steaks. All right, let me see what I can change. Change the name here. I tried putting in her whole name, and it wouldn't let me. We're gonna call it because it's critical race theory. Critical race theory. Race theory. CRT. At the old schoolhouse. That's why you can only have 100 characters. Schoolhouse, Tavern. All right, let me do two more things. I'm almost caught up, guys. I'm almost caught up. Tags, CRT, critical race theory, education, all the good stuff. All right, let's save all this stuff. I'm almost done. I'm almost there, guys. Just give me 1 second. I can't see what you're saying yet. I'm working on some editing stuff here to get you guys perfect. And we're going to hear a great speaker tonight, from what I hear. You're going to love it. So go to content. Just got to copy a couple things to put on here for the rest of it. We can get as many people as we can in here. Copy that. Copy, put it here. Paste. There we go. Save the changes. Let's go to my channel. Alright guys, I promise I'm getting it fixed right now. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. Alright, there we go. Let me hit pause so that way you don't hear me twice. Now let's figure out why there's two chat rooms on the screen.
Let's see, that's turned off, that's turned off, that's turned off, that's turned off. I don't know why there's two of me on the screen right now. Like, can I click on it? Nope. Can I click on it there? Nope. Can I click on it there? Oh, there we go. It's that one. There we go. I got rid of it. There we go, folks. All right, let's see what it's going to look like when I show you the crowd. Well, that's what you're going to see. All right, for now, we're going to be on me. Hey, boss, I know what I'm ready for. You know, I'm going to try the New York.
New York? How do you want that prepared?
Medium rare?
Medium rare?
Yeah, and instead of broccoli, do you have something else? I'm allergic to broccoli.
Oh, okay. We could do like grilled asparagus.
That'll work. That'll work, yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you, sir. And can I get a Coke, too?
Of course.
All right, I just ordered me a New York steak, folks. We're going to see what it's like over here. All right, so let me get caught up on the chat room. Oh, shoot, Drunk Uncle should be here by now. Let me open up Zoom so I can let Drunk Uncle in. Let's see. Not that screen. Sorry, guys, I'm on the road. I'm packed up. See, look. I brought everything. I brought my Roadcaster. I brought my computer. I brought the case. I had to bring my cow digit. Dude, can you believe this thing cost like, it was $350 just so I can put all my cords in there. I got a mic running all the way up there for you. So we got everything going on here for you guys. We got everything. On the road. On the road again. Can't wait to get on the road again. All right, let's see the chat. What's up, Cajun? Steve Pence. We got Anthony. We got the sound fixture ready, right? You guys can hear me. Join with computer audio. Start video. Then Drunk Uncle can come in. Let's see. So then who else we got? Sharon, how you doing? AJ, we got a young man here. Kim Tone, Carol. Yeah, it's the Eddie Block Show. What else we got? Who else we got in here? We got Eden. Hi, sweetheart. Julius is in here. Jeannie Smith is in here. Hopefully this mic's gonna work. So I tried to hook up my mic to their system. What's up, Lisa? And it wouldn't work. So what I had to do was put my mic right in front of their speaker. So hopefully you guys will hear it. We'll find out. Let's see if Drunk Uncle's trying to get in Zoom yet. I gotta go back and forth. Let me text him. Let me text Drunk Uncle, let him know Zoom is ready. Did you guys see me go to the FBI office? Okay, we're set. Let's see, join Zoom, Drunk. Let me text him. Yeah, the meeting's about to start. We're in Sanger, California at the old schoolhouse. They gave me their email or their internet password so I can join. We got a lot of people coming in. It's gonna be a pretty packed room. We got some gorgeous ladies coming in. You know, it's gonna be a good time. You're supposed to be able to zoom on this camera, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Hello.
Spooling us out to the world tonight?
We're all right now. We're live right now. Yes, sir. Kelly and Connie wanted me to be live for him. All right, sorry guys. We got 25 viewers here. This is gonna be a good show, folks. It might be boring, right? It's all about critical race theory, and the person that I heard that's gonna be talking tonight. What happened is she got an email from somebody who she wasn't supposed to, and it was one with some secret information about critical race theory. So she's gonna tell us all what the special critical race theory information is that she heard, so we can share it with everybody else. Where the PB's at? I don't know if there's any. I don't think there's any Proud Boys here today, to be honest with you. No Proud Boys here today. And probably wouldn't point them out to you either. Cause, you know. Oh, I found out there's some guy, you know that de-Trumpify guy? Last night I was looking on Twitter. What's up, Willow? He actually subscribes to my channel, I found out. And he subscribed to me on Twitter, so I know this guy's watching my stuff. Oh, that's what I should do. I should change my chat to where you gotta be subscription only. That way they have to subscribe to my chat. Thank you, sir. When you come back with the milk, can I get a straw? I like having a straw. All right, so let's see. So that's saved. Let me see if I can make the chat. I know I can make the chat. Comments and ratings. Allow all comments. Isn't there a place where you can put where they have to be, in order to comment, don't they have to be like subscribers? Right? Make them subscribe if they want to chat. Visibility, subtitles, cards. I don't know. If somebody knows how to do that, I gotta figure that out. Anyway, so how's everybody doing today? If you saw earlier, I went by the FBI, and where the hell is Drunk Uncle at? Let me go check Zoom again. See, I only have one screen now, so I can't watch both at the same time. I don't see him. Did he text me yet? He's not texting me. Whoa. Dang, my hat is all messed up. So how is everybody? But anyways, I went to FBI today to go and get some. I know they don't have it here, but I was told by this guy who said the lawyer asked, well, did you file the demand report? And I'm like, no. So he said, you got to go down to the FBI and file the demand report. We got some gorgeous looking. Look at the crowd, folks. We got a good looking crowd here. We got some. Why is it all blurry? Unblur for me. This camera sucks. I gotta complain about. I gotta see if they'll give me another one. But there's some younger generation people coming in here, right? There's a whole bunch of beautiful young ladies about to walk in the door. So this is what we're gonna have here tonight. Maybe we'll just show the people walking in for a while instead of you guys looking at me. I don't know. There we go. Oh, there you go. You guys can look at the people walking in. Let me see if Drunk Uncle's here yet. Because then I can let his butt in, and then I can do what we normally do. But until he gets here, I can't do... Oh, there we go. Now we can admit him. See, look at that. We got some beautiful young ladies trying to come in. Admit. What's up, Drunk Uncle?
Hello.
Hello. How the hell you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Late night customers. That's why I'm late.
Ah, okay. I was like, what the hell? Where's Drunk at? Oh, I know that girl. All right, so we got screen sharing on. This is going to be hard for me because I only have one screen today. All right, now let's put us in there. Let's see. There we go.
Oh, so they haven't started yet then?
No, not yet. We got a pretty packed room though. I just ordered me a steak too, so we'll see how that comes out. And then, hey, so I figured I'm gonna do something for you tonight, Drunk. I won't tell you what I'm gonna do, but after the show, I'm gonna go live from my phone, and I'm gonna go somewhere just for you.
Okay.
Just for you. So you're gonna have to stay, or not stay, but you're gonna have to come back and see what's going on. All right, where are we? Whoa. Everything's so big because it's used to the other screen, the other monitor. So I gotta resize. I had to resize everything today.
Hey, Lisa. Hey, Kim. Hey, Steve.
That means tomorrow I'm gonna have to resize everything all over again. There you go. Now you guys got both of us in here. Well, not me.
We're going to let people settle.
Can you guys hear them pretty good? I can adjust their mic.
Which is fun. Awesome.
Can you guys hear them all right when he talks to in that microphone?
Sounded okay to me so far.
All right, let's put the camera forward. You know what I'm gonna do for
Connie
the
is
Zoom?
here. Connie?
What I'll do for the Zoom camera is I'll use the other
anybody else out
camera.
in the
Maybe
hall?
then you guys can see me. Let me see if that'll work.
Hey, sheepdog.
Yes, there are. Okay.
Let me go on the Zoom here. Where are you? Zoom settings, preferences. Yeah, there's some good looking women in here drunk.
Yeah.
Definitely some good looking women. There we go. So now you guys can see me. We can look at that. Eddie's got this. I got this shit going on. We got the speaker in front of us. You got me and drunk. I think I'm gonna put us at the bottom. How about that?
Henry, I haven't watched it yet. I didn't really have much time today.
Haven't watched what yet?
I'm guessing The Sopranos.
Oh,
trailer.
you know what? I still haven't watched that yet either. Oh, and speaking of shows, I'm very happy to announce. I heard on the radio today that show I just started watching, Manifest. I just watched the very last episode,
There's some
and
chairs over here to the left.
I heard
come in and sit down?
that they're gonna be
Oh, okay.
opening up on a new channel now, maybe Netflix.
thank you for taking time to register. Really appreciate having your
You know, I'm sorry. I don't think you guys are gonna be able to. You guys can't read that screen at all, can you?
Contact information. I'm Kelly Brooks.
Let me see if there's a way I
this is
can
my
mess
wife,
with that
Connie.
camera. Can you guys hear well enough, or should I? I can try and turn them up a little bit. I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure that it demands applause, but
Okay.
anyway, we've been patriots since 2009, trying to fight against this big ball of string that's running down this big hill, about to squash
What's
us.
up, Dottie?
There's too many fires,
Can you hear him?
but
Yeah.
we're lucky we
Okay, good.
have. A
But you guys
speaker
can't see that
tonight
screen, can you?
Will help to address one of the big fires that we're all fighting. So I will introduce, or Connie will introduce Sandy Terosian in a few minutes. We'd like to start first by
Hopefully this guy sits down.
a prayer. Connie, did you find anybody that would like the honor of leading us in a prayer?
Look at this girl.
Okay, wonderful.
I'm in love with the new person. Watch, she's gonna watch the stream later
Our
on.
Heavenly Father, we're grateful that we can be here tonight and that we can learn of things that are very important and grow and help us to have a good spirit and to be able to share what knowledge we do have and to be open-hearted. We're grateful for this wonderful country we live in, and
Yeah,
we
sorry
just pray
guys.
that we will be strong and know what routes we should take and how we can help others to know. Let us take away from this meeting the most positive things and how to keep our country strong. And I say these things in the name of Jesus Christ, amen.
Amen. There we go. I turned her mic up.
Would a veteran like to lead us in the pledge? Lee,
I turned their mic up for
would
you
you please
guys.
stand? Uncap.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, Willow. Hello, Eden.
Yeah, sorry guys. Next time what I'll do is I'll see if I can bring another camera
Okay,
and hook it up to the front.
so our flag of the month,
Ooh, that's loud.
I usually fly the Gadsden flag. I fly the American flag. And tell me if I'm wrong, but that's higher than all the flags in this room, right? It is the place of honor, there and in our hearts.
It's a little lower.
This flag, can anybody tell me what it is?
All right, Julius, you're going to get this one first.
Okay, well, hearing the answers, I will decide to try to give you a little information about that flag. That's called the Whiskey Rebellion flag. And in 1871
No, just
to
Coke.
1874, there was a rebellion in this country, and George Washington was our president. And this one was the first test of our republic. And the guys that flew this were the regular army for George Washington to put down the rebellion. Now, the government at that time needed to raise money to pay for what? What was the big debt that the Americans had at that time? The Revolutionary War. We just won that war. We've got our freedom. And now all of a sudden we're going, okay, we promised all these guys that fought and died for us that we would pay them $1 a week or $1 every 14 days or whatever it was, right? And now we have this debt. And so Hamilton said the best way to do this is to tax spirits. Now, back in that time, 1% of the population made up 25% of all the spirits distilleries in America. So that hit that top 1% pretty hard. But it also hit small breweries as well. And you also have to remember that we didn't have a uniform currency at that time. And so what did we pay debts with?
Oh, you saw that, Nelly?
Many people paid debts with booze.
Actually, it's not Coke. I think it's...
So now you're
is it,
into the money system and you're into taxing people.
RC.
And everybody's going, hey, we
Tastes
just
weird.
fought a war over taxation without representation.
They always do this, Steve.
What the heck is up? Big test, right?
Yeah, I just ordered dinner.
Well, there were only 2 deaths in the Whiskey Rebellion. And even though George Washington was revered,
I think it's
and
focusing
later
on this
still
lady, huh?
revered because of the way he put down the rebellion,
See
it
if I go
was
here.
still a forceful put down of a rebellion.
Make it better.
And I'm sure there were a bunch of people at that time that felt that the federal government have
There's got to be a way I can
overreached.
focus this better.
So I'm just going to ask you a question. Do you think we have a little federal overreach right now?
Just a little bit.
Don't you think you'd like to get one of these flags and start flying it? Because this started the Republican concept, okay? This flag. So anyway, we don't really know. There's
Hold on, let's see if this is gonna be
stars on
better,
it to
folks.
represent the 13 original colonies.
We're going to try something
The
here.
eagle won out over the turkey. Ben Franklin wanted the turkey as our national motto because a turkey is very, very smart bird, very tough to hunt.
He always does a
I know. I've
history
chased them
lesson.
up in the foothills, and I was the only turkey out there because the turkeys were nowhere to be found, and yet I saw them before hunting season all the time. But as soon as hunting season, it disappeared. So anyway, the eagle's our bird.
Can I turn it sideways?
I don't know about the nuance of the ribbon, but there it is, the Whiskey Rebellion flag, and it's because of federal government overreach, and it was
All
only
right, let's-
flown
do
for
you guys think?
about
If
4 or
I can
5
make this a full
years.
screen, would you rather
That
see
was
this?
during that period, and then other flags took precedence.
What do you think?
of
Is that
course,
better if I make it full
our
screen?
flag, the 13 stars, the 13
All the
stripes.
quality's better, but you need to
took
figure
over.
out how to
So,
mount your
There
phone
we
somewhere.
go. One little tidbit about who we are and what our flags represent.
I'll figure it out. Give me one
Equal
second.
taxation and no excise, no asylum for traitors or cowards. That's many times on that ribbon as well. I thought that was kind of poignant. Excise tax is a tax on products and services versus income tax, which is a tax on income, right? And so this was an excise tax on
I'll figure it
products
out.
and services. First time in our republic's history. Okay,
All right.
lots of new faces in here. I don't know that we have time to go through all of that, so I will dispense with it. I do want to get to know you. I'd love to have you back next time. Our next month's speaker is going to be from a gentleman that has been to the border. He's talked to the
I don't know why
agents.
they're
He's
picking
talked
Oreo
to the
Express.
people that are
I
coming
really don't.
across the border. He's got the real skinny on what's going on down there.
No, he doesn't.
I think you might find that
How about
really
this? Is that better?
interesting because the news isn't telling us
That's
the whole
better, right?
story there. Okay.
Yep.
Look at that. My
There's a
iPhone.
shock,
My
right?
iPhone is better than the freaking camera that I bought.
New California State. Some of you may not know about New California State 51, but I wanted to briefly tell you that there's something historic happening in Fresno very soon. So in 2018, a group of people got together and they said, we don't like what's happening in our state. And so we're going to put pressure on Sacramento to do something different. And we actually filed a new constitution in 2019.
How come all the beautiful
which is
women
back
are
to our
married?
original constitution in California from the 1850s. It has about 50% of the number of organizations and committees and all that
Ooh, here comes my
in
steak.
the new constitution. And they're having their 9th constitutional convention.
Check out the waitress. She's kind of cute.
So if that piques your interest,
thank you. I'll just
I
stick it
like
thank
it
you.
because it puts pressure
right.
on
Thank you.
Sacramento to straighten up. Because if they don't straighten up, this is the alternative. We will form a new state. Now
Don't want it
think
to
of
spill.
New California like Hawaii. Sacramento, LA, and San Francisco will be islands in the state of California. They will represent 27 million people. The whole rest of the state will represent 28 million people. That gives us 28 or 27 electoral votes. That gives us control of the Sierras, our waterways, our infrastructure for farming. We will build more dams. We will have mineral rights. Think of all the things we can't do in California now that we could do if we actually controlled what happened in California versus having
Some argument
Sacramento, LA, and San Francisco control. So this isn't pie in the sky. This is real. There are some people that
Did you guys see the waitress?
California's on
Watch,
the
she's gonna
brink
walk by right now.
of,
She's kind of cute.
bankruptcy, total bankruptcy.
Oh, you guys can't see her that well.
So do your own research, double check me, fact check newcaliforniastate.com. You'll find it pretty interesting,
you
and
read
if
my
it
mind.
really piques your
Here, you wanna
interest,
say hi to
go
everybody?
to the meeting and find out. That's
Come on,
what I
gotta
did
scoot
2
over
years
more.
ago. I went to one of their constitutional conventions, and I went,
Thank you.
wow, this is really interesting. Huh. Oh, I don't know. That'll go away. Then we had our 8th constitutional convention. We just had our 8th one in San Luis Obispo. Sidney Powell was
No
there.
ring.
Sheriff Arpaio was there speaking. Tanya Getz was there speaking. She was Donald Trump's campaign manager for Ohio, Texas, and Nevada. Spitfire. Fun. Lots of information. And so it might pique your interest if you check out the website. John, I'm going to hold for now questions. EIPCA won one case to the federal Supreme Court. There's more to come with the IPCA. Election Integrity California, Project California really needs our help. If,
I look
if
at the
you
person's
believe
heart,
that
too.
Newsom needs to be out of office and we need a new governor,
But I like
then
looking
you
at
gotta
beautiful
get
women.
involved with
Is
the
that a bad thing?
IPCA because that's who's watching the election process.
Oh, yeah, I
That's
see
who's
what's wrong here.
documenting what's happening at the polls. That's who's watching the signature verification and then documenting that. And that's where lawsuits are coming against state of California, Becerra, Newsom. Those lawsuits are still in process. New California State also has a lawsuit that's going to go to the Supreme Court against Becerra, past Attorney General of California, and Newsom.
All right, since he's talking a whole bunch of stuff you guys don't want to hear, look. I just like looking at beautiful women. I don't date beautiful women. My ex-wife was 250 pounds and she's beautiful to me, so how about that?
Please get involved.
And then she cheated on me.
If we don't have election integrity, we don't have a country. We're no longer a republic. Okay? They talk about democracy. We're not mob rule. We are a republic. Know what that means. Know how that affects you and your family and the future of America. Last meeting we had Ellington Smith come and talk to us about blockchain technology and how people are using Bitcoin money to pay debts and get loans and stuff. And how you better get involved in it because it seems to be the future. I still don't know enough about it personally, so I'm not a good person.
So this guy
to
right here, this is
advocate
Kelly.
for it,
He's the
but I
president of
feel-
Kings River
feel like I
Conservative
need to know more
Forum.
about it because I'm seeing
This is
it
his
showing
restaurant.
up on the bank's
So he
websites
normally gives a speech
that you
for
can
a
pay
while.
debts
Not
to
yet,
the
Karen.
bank
It's coming
with
up.
Bitcoin.
We're waiting
Now,
for the
if guy
speaker to show up.
holding your
You gotta let
mortgage is gonna
Kelly
take
go through
money
his.
that's zeros and ones in a computer.
Gotta let Kelly go through his little speeches first.
Oh wait, that's what our money is anyway. Zeros and ones in a computer at Bank of America or Chase.
But it's okay because he owns this place where
They
he
might
lets us
take
have
them
this.
green money or hand them a check, but they put it in as zeros
Right, so you
and
let him
ones
speak what he wants
in
to
a
say.
computer memory. So it's not really unlike what we're already doing, but it's so foreign to me that I'm. So we need to know more about
Drunk Uncle, you can
this
talk if you
and
want.
how to get involved in it.
I know, Future, I'm live right now, bro.
So I hope we can get Ellington Smith to come back and talk to us about it again in the future. We're even talking about a local Bitcoin kind of thing for barter system so that we could pay each other. We would have
Hey.
money in our own Bitcoin and pay each other, and we wouldn't be out there with everybody else in Bitcoin.
Beautiful that steak
Wow, that's
looks.
kind of crazy, isn't it?
Tastes just as good as it looks.
Maybe not. Maybe it takes us back to the whiskey rebellion when we were paying our debts with, well, would you like a six-pack or a turkey? Thanks, Doc, for taking care of me. Okay.
Speaker should be coming up soon, folks. Please, that's her name, Sandy
Okay,
Terosian.
So I'm going to turn this over to Connie.
Here you
and
go.
We'll introduce our speaker for the night. And Angel, can you come up and drop
Oh, yeah,
my,
Kelly is awesome.
PDF out and
I just want to mention, too, that we have a Clovis City Councilman here. Vaughn Manitua, hi, how are you? And also Glenda Hill, she's ex-city councilman from...
I think it's that lady right
from,
there.
Orange Cove, and she's done a lot there, so we appreciate everybody's hard work. Okay, so we have Sandy today. That's really going to be great. She was born and raised in Bishop, and you lived in Fresno since '78. She was an instructional aide with special ed for 14 years and quit her job in 2016 because she didn't like what was going on with the schools and with the government schools, and didn't want to be a part of it. So she ran for for Clovis Unified School District, and you lost to a 25-year incumbent. So that was, that was tough. Her fight for children and education began in 2013 after watching Building the Machine, a documentary about exposing Common Core. And she's an active member in the Fresno County and Fresno City Republican Women Federated, and she spoke against Common Core, against it, and AP US History, and comprehensive sexuality
It's really good,
education,
Justin.
and most recently critical race theory and the 1619 Project. And she's on the leadership team of United States Parents involved in education, and also serves as the California president of that organization. And also, how do you even say that? Is it USP or USPI? And USPI is a nonprofit nationwide coalition that seeks to return education to its proper local roots and restore parental authority and over their children and education by helping parents and local communities to escape federal and other national influences. So,
There we
we
go.
welcome
Sounds better,
Sandy.
right? Ooh, she's short.
Okay, so interesting evening. I thought I was completely prepared. I was leaving at 5:30, so I would get here on time, right? So I get on to 41 at Friant, and traffic is dead stopped, and I'm thinking, it's okay, it's all right. I'm relaxed, and I really wasn't stressed. But it took 20 minutes to get to the Shaw exit, and I thought, okay, this isn't good. So I tried to call Connie. I left a message. She lost her phone today. I tried to no, really, God has something really planned for us tonight. So I call the restaurant, and they don't answer the phone. And for some odd reason, my friends Patrick and Gloria Carlin had texted me and said, hey, we're here, we're having dinner. No accident. They were my only contact to these people. Okay, in the midst of that, I realized I have my notes. I don't have my laptop. But I did bring my little, USB thing, so God has something good in store. There's always opposition. So I just want to thank Kelly and Connie again for the invitation to be here tonight. It's always a pleasure to be in a room with like-minded people, and if you're not like-minded, that's okay too. We have been too complacent, and I think most of us would agree that we are in the middle of an abyss right now. And I'm sure I'm not the only one in this room that isn't surprised, but also amazed at how quick this country has gone in a downward spiral in just 6 months. Everything from immigration to the border wall to gas prices to the pipeline. People that don't want to go to work because they're getting paid more to stay at home. Just so many things. And in reference to the topic tonight, Biden, on his very first day in office, rescinded President Trump's executive order to ban critical race theory. Now, I know that most people have a fear of speaking out about social issues, about education issues, and especially political issues, and now more than ever about race. I even found myself in a store one day when I was buying new clips for my bike shoes, and somebody said, well, who was helping you? I didn't know what to say. The Mexican girl, the girl with the tattoo. I mean, I would have, a year and a half ago, I would have never been embarrassed to say, oh, it was the Hispanic girl or the, but anyway, things have definitely changed. A recent Gallup poll showed that 77% of conservatives are scared to share their political beliefs in public. Is it because we don't want to offend someone? Is it because we're hoping that the person sitting next to us is going to stand up and do something about it? I do completely understand why people don't speak up, because the minute we do, especially about what's going on now with critical race theory, they claim immediately that that shows that we're racist, and it's equivalent to treason, and that it's showing our, exposes our guilt and our shame. But we cannot any longer remain silent. We must speak up. Oh, I guess I better figure out a way to do this, huh? Next slide. As Connie mentioned, I am a part of United States Parents Involved in Education. I've been on the leadership team for 7 years. I've actually been a part of the organization for 8. She explained what we are and what we do. Since our original inception, our goal was to close the U.S. Department of Education because it's unconstitutional, and to end all federal education mandates. But over the last year, we've tweaked our mission, and she mentioned this, to focus on equipping and empowering parents to regain control of their children's education. Our communications director was recently on Newsmax, so the interest in our group has really risen. Next slide. You might want to put that in your lap. No.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to get it for you. It's just...
Just the arrow.
Had she stayed and sat where everybody
I would
else
encourage
sat, it would've
you to
worked.
visit our website, uspie.org, where you can see our advisory board. And we have some very well-known people. One is Michelle Malkin, our leadership team, which I am a member of. If you go to our website on the far right, you will see resources.
I'm doing
and
my
if you
best,
click
guys.
on that and go down to downloadable resources, you can find a paper written on just about anything you want to know about education right now. Social emotional learning, school choice, tax credits versus vouchers, critical race theory. We also have a documentary that we hope are going to finish up and have out by Thanksgiving. We started with a cost of over $100,000, and we now owe $15,000. So that's an incredible journey we've been on. We have a trailer that you are welcome to watch. It's less than 2 minutes. It does feature Sam Sorbo, who is married to Kevin Sorbo, who played the professor in God's Not Dead, and she is a homeschooler. We also have our blueprint that we wrote in the best way to close the U.S. Department of Education. And I don't know how many have heard about it, but there is a 21-day challenge out there about equity, diversity, and racism. So in response to that, we are writing, it is not on the website yet, a 21 anti anti-racist challenge. And it's going to be excellent. Tonight, we are going to talk about critical race theory and how it's affecting our government schools. And yes, I do not call them public schools because they are arms of the federal government. And as Laura Ingraham recently said, cesspools of political thought. And local control, there is not a school district that has local control. It is a thing of the past. I do reference Clovis Unified quite a bit just because that's where I worked, that's where I know what's going on, and I actually have what I'll call an informant right now. But I must keep them protected. Every time there is a school board election, all of their signs say, keep local control, protect local control. We have, no you don't. And I actually had a board member admit that to me the other night when we were talking about the face mask issues. If a school district had local control, they could make the decision of choice if a parent wants or does not want their child to wear a mask. So it was encouraging to hear her say that. Thank you. First of all, aside from critical race theory, aside from all the federal mandates, America's government schools are completely out of control. We know that over the last year, there's been unaccountable and confusing school shutdowns. Open, closed, open, half Zoom, half in person. It's really been hard on the kids. There's been a mass academic failure after a year in remote learning. Even at best, and I don't want to make any parent feel bad, but even if your child got A's and B's, those A's and B's don't account for much because those children only got a mediocre education. And I'm not blaming the teachers. If there's it is not your fault. A teacher has absolutely done their best in this situation. I feel like special ed really took a hit. My girlfriend teaches in special education, and she, all children need facial awareness. They need to see you smile. She was testing one little boy and he had to, what was it? Oh, the word was smile. And if he could read the word smile, he was supposed to smile, right? She couldn't even see his face. And she has one student that did not one assignment over the last year, and he's still being promoted to the next grade. Kids are struggling emotionally after a year of social isolation. It is said that suicide rates have increased by nearly 60% in students 10 to 24. And I know, not just me, but I know that breaks your heart. I can't imagine a 10-year-old thinking about that. Next slide. This is what former Attorney General Bill Barr said. Public education is becoming an absurdity that is scarcely to be believed. Schools are producing students without proficient skills in reading, writing, and math, yet no effort or expense is spared to instill a radical belief system. Schools used to promote solidarity among students as American. Now schools have taken the opposite mission of teaching unbridgeable differences, of dividing us into many different identities, destined to be antagonistic. Critical race theory. Dr. Ben Carson, I read, you can move it. I read an article that where Dr. Ben Carson was quoted last night, and if you know his story, it's just really remarkable how he
Finally.
could read. But he said CRT is destructive, and then, quote, we cannot allow CRT to rob American children of that same hope that was instilled in me. Now, I will say that there is a silver lining to COVID, and it has forced many parents to get involved in their children's education and see exactly what's going on in the classroom. And I also heard Mark Levin yesterday say cameras need to be in the classrooms. If we're going to spend money, by the way, the, oh my gosh, what group was it today? I didn't write it down. They have raised federal monies going to schools by 41%. You need to know money does not equal a good education. Money has nothing to do with it. But they've increased what the federal dollar is going to be by 41%. So spend that on cameras in every single classroom. Parents have felt trapped this year if they couldn't send their kids to a private school or if they didn't feel they could homeschool. And I know that they are panicking now as the new year approaches, and I will talk about what's happening in schools and what I am planning to do. I know both Fresno and Clovis Christian are impacted, and they have huge waiting lists. One of the things I was trying to do is Clovis Christian actually opened up a second campus, and in 18 hours, I think it was, they had 100 students and they were full. I was working with Kim, the director, to open up a third campus, but it is sort of at a standstill, so I don't think that's going to come to fruition. So critical race theory is the civil rights issue of our time, but it is not new. It's an academic discipline that has been in our colleges for decades, which is what we were talking about earlier. It has radicalized our public institutions, and there's no sign of it slowing down. It's pushing an agenda that America is systematically racist to its core, and it is everywhere. It's poisoning all levels of government agencies, HR departments, and corporate boardrooms. And even though my focus is education tonight, I do want to share some things. Next slide, please. The FBI has held workshops on intersectionality, which I will define later, critical race theory. The Department of Homeland Security is telling white employees that they have committed micro-inequities and have been socialized into oppressor roles. The Sandia National Laboratories, which designs America's nuclear arsenal, hosted a 3-day re-education camp for white males with the goal of exposing their white privilege and deconstructing white male culture. They were told the white male culture was similar to the KKK, white supremacists, and mass killings. Now, locally, we have a good friend that just retired from law enforcement, and he underwent critical race theory training, and the professors that taught the class made it very clear that law enforcement represents slavery. And at the end of the seminar, John said, well, what can we do? What can we do differently? And he said he was basically told, you just need to go away. Next slide. I'm just trying to give us a picture of all the different places. Now, how many have heard about Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Michael Gilday? Okay, there's a few of you. He is pushing this Marxist ideology by encouraging his naval officers to read CRT activist Ibram Kendi's book, How to Be an Anti-Racist. This book, and I will talk about Mr. Kendi later, is considered to be one of the most racist books in modern times. Next slide. Now we'll take a look at what's happening in our schools. I have several examples, and again, I've tried to gather from all over. In Cupertino, an elementary school forced third graders to deconstruct their racial and sexual identities. Third graders. Then rank themselves according to their power and privilege. In Springfield, a middle school forced teachers to locate themselves on an oppression matrix, telling straight, white, English-speaking Christian males they were members of the oppressor class and must atone for their covert white supremacy. In Philadelphia, an elementary school forced fifth graders to celebrate black communism and simulate a black power rally to free 1960s radical Angela Davis from prison, where she had been held on murder charges. Next slide. Oh, her name is not up there. Yonimi Park. There we go. I'm like, where is her name? There it is. Okay. I don't know if anybody has heard her speak. She's wonderful. She's a North Korean defector whose family fled Korea in 2007 and moved to the United States in 2014. As a student at Columbia University, she said that what campuses are teaching is worse than anything she faced in North Korea. She fears that the U.S. is as bleak as North Korea. It's quite a statement. In Seattle, the school district told white teachers that they were guilty of spirit murders against black children and must bankrupt their privilege in acknowledgement of their thieved inheritance. In Clovis, a fourth grade Woods Elementary student came home from school on several occasions and shared with her mother that America isn't a very nice country. The parent contacted me and gave me permission to post it on Facebook. Again, I use no names. A teacher from the 4th grade team contacted me immediately and asked for the parent and child's name. Of course, I refused. She said to me, "We don't teach that in our classrooms, and I'm sorry that the student misinterpreted it. This child was 9 years old at the time. She didn't misinterpret anything." Now, is it any wonder that 70% of millennials say they would vote for a socialist candidate? That 90% of millennials support Black Lives Matter? That 1/3 of young adults approve of abolishing the police? It's because of what they're being taught in school. Okay, next slide. I hope these are going to show up. So this is one last thing. I really recommend looking up Dr. Cherokee Hawley. I personally think he's dangerous. On June 8th, over 140 Clovis Unified employees participated in a teacher training program led by Dr. Hawley, who is an expert in culturally responsive teaching and learning. That is critical race theory, and whose definition of culture includes gender orientation. He provided the employees with a pedagogical framework for implementing culturally and linguistically responsive strategies for use in today's diverse classrooms. Now, I don't know what Dr. Hawley charged Clovis Unified, but I read he was paid $115,000 by a school district in Sarasota, Florida. So I am filing a FOIA. I want to know who contracted with him, and I want to know how much he was paid. Okay, next slide, please. There are several that are promoting critical race theory, but I am just going to talk about these two. This is Kimberly Crenshaw. She is the one that coined the term intersectionality, and I promise I will define that. She states that CRT is not a noun, but a verb because it's an evolving and malleable practice. She believes that we live in a racial caste system, and the people of color are in the bottom tier, which is just like India. This is Mr. Ibram Kendi, who wrote the book that Officer Gilday, Admiral Gilday, is encouraging his naval officers to read. Okay. He's proposed the creation of a Department of Anti-Racism with the power to nullify, veto, or abolish any law at any level of government and silence the speech of political leaders and intellectuals who are not deemed anti-racist. This department would not be accountable to voters, to the executive branch, to the legislative branch, and would mean the end of the federalist system. Kendi believes that, quote, "In order to be truly anti-racist, you also have to be truly anti-capitalist. Identity is the means, Marxism is the end." Those wanting to introduce this Marxist doctrine into our schools also want to stop us from educating the public about this anti-American ideology. Dissenting opinions are not only being discredited, but they are being banned and censored. Okay, next slide. These are just two of the leaders in the fight against critical race theory. I will say that tomorrow, United States Parents Involved in Education is actually having a seminar in South Carolina with Dr. Duke Pesta. I don't know if anyone's familiar with him, and with Dr. Carol Swain. I was hoping it would be live streamed. It's not, but we are recording it, and when I get it, I will send it to Connie, and she can distribute it, or if you want my number, I can distribute it to you. I think it's going to be really phenomenal. She is a former Princeton and Vanderbilt professor and author of Black Eye for America, How Critical Race Theory is Burning Down the House, and it will be available in August. She is owner and president of Unity Training Solutions, which offers an alternative to diversity, equity, and inclusion training. Christopher Rufo is a writer, filmmaker, and senior fellow of Manhattan Institute. He was one of the first to blow the whistle on CRT and is fighting against it through investigative reporting, policy advocacy, and legal warfare. He was featured in the March issue of the Hillsdale College Imprimis publication. If anybody does not get Imprimis, I highly recommend that publication. One of the things that I have a quote from Dr. Carol Swain. She said, "We need to stop bowing down to those who want to erase our history and reimagine a different history." Imprimis. It's a Hillsdale College, publication. Okay, next slide, please. As I said earlier, critical race theory is nothing new. What is new is the introduction of it into our K-12 schools. It's eating away at our schools with its cancerous message about white privilege, minority disadvantage, and perennial racism. Now, sometimes it's directly labeled critical race theory, but most of the time you're not going to get it in under the radar if you call it critical race theory. It's usually deployed under a series of euphemisms. Now, there are so many out there. Ethnic studies has been adopted by California for our high schools. Ethnic studies is just another term for critical race theory. Social justice, we know that one. It's the forced redistribution of wealth. Diversity and inclusion. Here's your intersectionality. So it was Kimberly Crenshaw that coined the term intersectionality. It's the convergence of gender stereotypes and race stereotypes that might play out in a classroom. Not always positive, you can imagine, between a student and a teacher, a student and a student, or a student and an administrator, and committing oneself to understanding the best way to intervene and add equal opportunities for all students, regardless of their identity. Bottom line, it separates people into victim identity groups, and there is nothing educational about that. In our schools, it has begun to appear under culturally responsive teaching and learning and educational equity. I've talked to several teachers that truly believe this has nothing to do with critical race theory, and they are excited about the direction that education is heading. But no matter how you disguise it, its poisonous effects cannot be hidden. Next slide. So one of the words that is very important to understand is equity versus equality. It's extremely different, and equity is used with CRT. Now, equity is soft and it's persuasive and easily confused with the American principle of equality, but equity is nothing more than formulated Marxism. Its goal is equal outcomes or inequality, and I put that star up there because I didn't want to miss this. What it reminds me of when you have equal outcomes is Common Core. We have common outcomes. We're teaching everybody about common stuff. Now, years ago, when I first began my fight in Common Core, we thought it was just language and math, but I am truly convinced that it was the Trojan horse that got into our educational system, opened up, and that's why we have everything we have. So that really, a red flag went up the minute I read about the equal outcomes or inequality. We have children in classrooms that are not equal, but they're being treated as far as education. Equity seeks to divide the world into competing racial groups, endorsing active racial discrimination to get there. Now, equality has outcomes based on equal opportunity. It's the principle proclaimed in the Declaration of Independence, defended in the Civil War, and codified into law with the 14th and 15th Amendments, the Civil Rights Act, and the Voting Rights Act of the 1960s. Equality seeks to protect individual rights regardless of race. Okay, next slide. So the U.S. Department of Education, it's important to know that although I was not a fan of President Trump's Betsy DeVos, the new Secretary of Education, of course, appointed by Biden, is Miguel Cardona, and he is a fierce advocate of CRT. One of the things I was a little bit encouraged about today was Christopher Rufo, the one featured on the Imprimis. It said over the weekend that the Biden administration backed down on a controversial proposal to tie federal education grants to the implementation of critical race theory in our public schools. So at first I was encouraged, but then I shared with you also that, it's the Appropriations Committee that increased federal funding by 41%. So I think one canceled out the other. So the Department of Education says that the actions aim to not only address inequities exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, but encourage schools more broadly to reimagine their education systems and practices and infuse equity into all of their work so that every student has access to rigorous, how do you measure it? Culturally responsive and fulfilling instruction. This is infused in every subject. This isn't something that they're going to read a book and discuss, or it's not going to be like they take a class. It's going to be in every single subject. It's going to be in math, and you'll see how that's going to happen. Okay, next slide. Okay, so the largest teachers union in the United States is the National Education Association. They believe it is reasonable and appropriate for curriculum to be informed by academic frameworks for understanding and interpreting the impact of the past on current society, including critical race theory. Next slide. So, critical race theory is sowing discord among friends and neighbors. In the past, we've always been able to disagree on politics, but it is truly, truly causing problems. And that is a classic Marxist tactic. And I'm sure you've seen how the media is massaging resentments to inflame people. It also focuses on the negative, makes victims of our children, and is dividing and tearing down our country and redefining our history through the 1619 Project. Next slide. So the 1619 Project was written by Nicole Hannah-Jones. She won a Pulitzer Prize for heading the 1619 Project, which rewrites history to teach our children that America was founded on the principle of slavery and oppression, not freedom. This project is already in 4,500 K-12 classrooms across the nation. There are 12 historians who have criticized the project, and at the heart of their criticism is the project's central thesis, which revised the date of America's true founding from July 1776 to August 1619, when a, quote, ship appeared on the horizon near Point Comfort, a coastal port in the British colony of Virginia. The ship carried more than 20 enslaved Africans who were sold to the colonists. Now, Jones, by the way, there are fact checkers who have proved that her facts are completely wrong, and she won't even respond to them. Jones has noted that her goal behind this project is for a reparations bill to be passed. So she wants white people to pay for something that we had nothing to do with over 250 years ago, even though I'm sure most of us in here believe it was horrible. And she wants us to pay for it just because of the color of our skin. Now, we cannot deny that America has a history of slavery, racism, and injustice. But America was not founded and defined by racism and slavery. And our founding principles, our Constitution, and our way of life must not be overthrown. Next slide. Critical race theory is also using race, gender, climate change, and immigration to teach our children that America is a racist country. CRT is also tied to comprehensive sexuality education because it recognizes that race intersects with identities, including sexuality and gender identity. Civics is no longer being taught in school, so students have no idea of their true Judeo-Christian heritage as Americans. English is deemed racist because it's not spoken in the streets. And good old math Has anybody heard about Pathway to Equitable Math? Okay, we have Pathway to Equitable Math, which is a curriculum funded by, it said Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation, but there's no Melinda anymore, right? Okay, so maybe it's still called the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, but I put the Gates Foundation. Yeah, Epstein. It operates on the premise that minority students are less capable than white students on learning math principles, and that math is a form of white supremacy. Now, it's believed that the solution to this is to lower the standards and the expectations by not requiring students to show their work and teaching them that there's really no such thing as a right or a wrong answer. Now, this is math. I'm not driving across a bridge when a child can't get the right or wrong answer. Okay. And instead of educating our children in core subjects with academic excellence, they are teaching them to hate America, to look at the color of our skin instead of what's on the inside. And if they're white, that they are oppressors by definition. And our tax dollars are paying for this. Okay, next slide. I sometimes get emotional at the end, so I promise not to. I'm going to try not to. So those who support critical race theory have rejected not only the outcome of the Civil War, but also the advances made by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He had a dream that his 4 little children would one day live in a nation where they would not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. If this continues, it will erase everything he did and make it meaningless. This country isn't perfect, and we never have been, but we are the greatest nation on earth. We've made mistakes, but we're victors. CRT proponents want us to focus on the negative and teach our children to be victims and failures. We have to focus on the positive. We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next slide, please. The Declaration of Independence states the principles on which our government and our identity as Americans is based. Our children should be taught the truth that America is the least racist country in the world, and that the Civil War was the ultimate fight for anti-racism. Our youth must be inspired to fight for freedom and equality. They should know and be able to recite the vision of our great country. And I want you to join me as we read the preamble to the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. CRT is contrary to the concepts put forward in the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. Did you know that more than half of those that signed the Declaration of Independence were not born in America? But CRT fails to celebrate or study America's founding ethnic diversity. Instead, CRT looks through the Marxist lens of victims and oppressors, as if somehow America's past sins are uniquely American or worse. We are all imperfect, but we are all created in the image of God. What is unique to America and worthy of praise and celebration is that we were the first country in the history of the world to acknowledge that our rights do not come from our government, rather they come from our Creator. The preamble of the Constitution uses the phrase, "in order to form a more perfect union." A more perfect union can only be achieved by the free exercise of information and education. Again, we are not a perfect country, but we are the freest, most successful, most ethnic nation on the earth. There's a reason why people of all ethnicities from all over the world continue to immigrate to the United States of America. Sadly, if not stopped, CRT will affect the pursuit of liberty and a more perfect union. Next slide. Is there hope and a solution? Yes, there's hope. For decades, I've watched parents sit back and allow federal mandates to infiltrate our schools. But the most powerful of all sleeping giants, the American family, has finally woken up. You've probably seen the moms and dads that have spoken out at board meetings with incredible passion over the last year in states like Virginia, New York, Minnesota, and Pennsylvania, not necessarily red states. And CRT has grabbed their attention and they're fighting back. The stakes of this fight are incredibly high. Our children. It will be the end of the end of freedom and equality in America if we don't stop it. We need courage. We need courage to speak out. We need courage to face the criticism. As Mark Levin said Sunday night, we must rally, network, and galvanize. We need a national movement that spreads from dinner table to dinner table, from pub to pub, and from school to school. If we stand united, we can defeat this Marxist ideology and strengthen the American ideals of freedom and equality. We need governors like Ron DeSantis, who has banned CRT in Florida's K-12 curriculum, and red states that have introduced bills to achieve the same through local legislation. And I did get an email from another member of US PI today, 26 states now, not exactly like Ron DeSantis, but at least 26 states now have started bills in some form to stop CRT. But of course, we're not on that list. Okay. We must fight CRT in the courts because it violates the First Amendment, the 14th Amendment, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. We must promote the true story of the United States of America, a story that is honest about our injustices, including the progress that we've made towards realizing them and trying to change them. I am hopeful more individuals will see the truth and unite for the betterment of our country. I'll say a betterment of our country and of our children and their education. We can stop this blatantly radical ideology. We are smart and we can do this. And my last slide, which I use every time. If you've not read the book about Dietrich Bonhoeffer, I highly recommend it. This is my very favorite quote. Silence in the face of evil is evil itself. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak, and not to act is to act. It is time that we speak, and it's time that we act. And I will add that I am passionate about education, and I had never planned on doing something about CRT. I've done Common Core, I've done AP US History, I've done comprehensive sexuality education, and then Angela, about 2 months ago, said, so are you going to do one on CRT? I said, no, I think I'm done. And then Connie called. And so, yes, and now I have 2 more speaking engagements lined up. So God has called me to this. This is not something that I would do because it's fun, but it's so important that people understand what is going on and that we need to protect our children. Anyway, so I've gone up and down the valley, and I truly think we need to get our kids out of public schools. I'm not saying that works for everybody, at least for a time. If we were to all, like I'm saying all of us, every school district, held our kids out for 1 day, that's a lot of money. Think about 5 days. What can we do? What can we do to get your children back? Well, you make them a list because you pay for everything. Your tax dollars pay for everything in a public school. And if they're not in their seat, they don't get that money. So I think that's how to do this. And but I've been going up and down the valley saying this is really what's important. You need to know what's going on. But I've never provided a way out. So yes, I was going to team up with Clovis Christian. I'm not saying that's out the door. But after I spoke one day at Liberty School Watch, that was one day. Pastor Russell Bailey called me about 2 weeks later, and he said, I was at this luncheon you were at, and you're very passionate. And he said, it really spoke to me, and I really want to start a school. So he has donated the use of Clovis Missionary Baptist on Fowler Avenue, and we're having a meeting in our home tomorrow night. I'm not sure if it's going to be a school right off the bat or if it's going to be more of a homeschool co-op, but we're going to make it possible for parents to be able to educate their kids in another way. So I'm excited about it. I am so thrilled you were all here tonight, and again, thank you for this opportunity. John.
In connection with your closing statement there about the school starting, I wanted to ask the question, what the appetite is in the Christian community.
Can you guys hear his question?
For example, how many places have you been in?
Not really.
Okay.
How many do you think you would invite? Because I think there is a problem there.
Well, I learned my iPad's the best camera I have. Good thing I brought it.
Remember I talked about that. People are just, by the way, I'm not afraid to speak up, if you can tell. The one
Hey,
thing
Jenny.
someone said to me today is, I don't know. You know what? I don't know. The doors are opening. They really are. I mean, since Connie called, I've got 2 more now. I think the thing that I have to always remind myself, back when she mentioned something I watched called Building the Machine, and it was just it's a short documentary, 39 minutes. It was when Common Core was first emerging. And I was asking my sister what she thought about Common Core, and at the very end, I decided to watch it. And at the end, God said, I want you to start informing people. Well, I just thought everybody was going to, yeah, I get it. No. And then, when I talked about AP US history, thank you so much, but, it's not a big deal. Comprehensive sexuality education, I thought that was going to wake parents up, and it didn't. So I don't know, John. I honestly believe
think he asked what's
CRT
gonna
might
wake
be the
parents up.
thing. I've never seen this many parents awake to something.
One of the things, we don't have to get to the right answer, whether it's saying there's no absolute, so that that's
Bless you.
Thank you.
churches who are attended, that is whether
She's asking a question about the math and how they say that.
Yeah, well, I know that
There is no
Pastor
right
Bailey,
answer.
the one who I am working with to start a school, I know I'm going to be speaking in his church, and I have spoken at Cross City before. So churches, I'm really glad, churches are where the thing,
up,
it
Danny?
has to start. That is everything. I mean, we're in the spot where we're at because Christians aren't voting. We have got to wake up and take our stand. I mean, we're going to be sifted, guys. So, okay.
Thank you, Kim.
everything, I know personally,
Can't hear this lady at all.
these little girls, and they're 10 years old, and they were telling me whether they're bisexual or whatever, and they said, it is really strange that
I think next time we'll have to set up front.
is gay. And I have a gay son, and I know that he struggled with that, he's a wonderful guy, and I
Set up a microphone source towards the front.
Well, there is one, but it's facing her.
and they're still figuring out who they are at this age, and of course, we should love and accept everybody, that's what Christianity is about.
But it's a cardio mic. It's got to face
It's
you.
taking over. Well, one thing, I can't remember what, it's a social media site. It's like a chat room. And for children that play Minecraft, now I talked to somebody whose 9-year-old came in and said, Mom, I'm bisexual. She said, what? She said,
9
I think
years
I'm
old.
bisexual. Well, she plays Minecraft, and it's appealing to those kids, number one, because they've been isolated, and so they found friends on websites. So she said, from Minecraft, she's gone to this, what's it called? It's Discord. Not one accord, right? Discord. And that's where everybody on this Discord website is every gender you can imagine. And these are 9-year-olds. It's just, it's mind-boggling.
It's just like abortion. It's considered a choice.
Yeah. It's demonic. How about that? It's all demonic. Yep. So thank you.
There you go, guys.
Thank you, Sandy. So I just want to say, I hope people can get to their school board meetings. I was on the school board for 4 years, and I know when I would go to all these conferences, all the conferences were, okay, school board, you have to get along. Everybody's got to have a consensus, and that's how we have a good school district. And that totally was not my way of acting. So, and then all these, the board meetings, the conventions, one of them was on civics, and so I knew what they were going to talk about, but I said, I raised my hand, I am so glad that we're going to start teaching the Constitution again. And so it was a judge, a San Francisco judge, and she goes, no, that's not what it is. And I knew what it was. It's about teaching kids how to be active, how to get out there and fight for what they think is the right thing. And so it was just amazing to me. And then one class, a lot of the classes were black people telling them how bad their life was. One gal had gone to Yale, and she was beautiful, and she just was so great. And she taught at Harvard, and she said, I just don't know who I am anymore. And it's like, here they've reached the pinnacle, and it's the American dream, and they don't realize it. And so somehow or other, they're putting a spin on it. So I hope everybody can get to the board meetings, and we hopefully can do something. Also, what has been, how the schools have got away with all this is equity and social justice. And those are the terms that they mean equality, they mean communism. Equity is equal outcomes, social justice is equal outcomes, and they sound so smooth and so soft.
Go to your school and do
but
this.
that is how put you through that fucking wall. All these things. So I hope everybody can get active and do some things.
For a second, I thought I
Thank
sent
you.
that out
Thanks
to
for
everybody.
coming.
For a second, I thought I put that out to everybody.
Okay, I got a couple more things to share with you. If I can shut this down. If you want to stand up for a minute.
You guys, you want to see the flag over there?
Stretch your legs, that'd be fine.
That's Kelly's other flag.
Just take me 2 seconds.
He brings in a flag
here.
all the time. What I learned, my iPad Pro is the best camera to use for you guys.
Okay, just wanted to remind you, before I remind you, I wanted to mention that Frank Gonzalez is in the room. He was past mayor of Sanger, and he's on the CRP, so I just wanted, Connie was making some introductions of people that were politically active in our world, and I wanted to give you credit for that, because it's not easy to be an elected official and do the work of that. But it's not easy also to be a citizen and do the work of a citizen, which is hold them accountable. And the good ones all say, that's okay. I expect you to be there. In fact, you and I agree on this thing. I want you there at my meeting. I want you to support me on this issue. Or I want you to discuss it so that at least we can find out what is the right solution among some good people in the room versus a lonely boardroom. And you're looking at each other, the same 6 people going, well, what is the best thing? Well, we've talked about this before. Well, let's do this. Well, maybe there is some depth in being citizens and being active. And I'm not saying I'm a perfect citizen either. I'm not at all these meetings. I'm trying to be as active as I can. So one bite of the elephant at a time from all of us, and that's a good thing. And then the other thing that's happening here tonight, if you haven't noticed, there's a gentleman in the back by the name of Eddie Block, and he's with EddieBlockFilms, and he actually podcasts this. And he's got a lot of people out in the internet world that shared with us this experience. And so I just want to give a shout out to EddieBlockFilms for being here and helping us,
Get the word out.
Oh yeah, that's the way. Get the word out. Okay, perfect. Okay, you could watch it again, or have a watch party at your house with a bunch of friends, and go to EddieBlockFilms and watch it again. So there you go, right, Eddie?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. There you go. Okay, so today's July 21st. So now this meeting's already happened. These meetings in Fresno with James Coos, county clerk. registrar, and what we wanted people to do when they showed up at these meetings is say, I really want you to do voter roll cleansing, and we don't want the Dominion machines. Well, Fresno County hasn't made any big announcements, have they? That they're going to. They have. Okay, what are they, Lee? They're keeping the Dominion machines, and they're not letting us audit them. One no vote. Steve Brandau was the only no vote.
Of course, he's the only Republican.
So, okay, that's where we need citizens to show up at the meetings, and of course with COVID,
Really?
that means like 8
Oh, Michael is
citizens
too, huh?
in a room that'll hold 200 because we needed spacing. But at any rate, we need to keep the pressure on this. Did you all get you're going to vote on the 14th of September notice? Well, we got them, and so I'm thinking, okay, well, how did he know to send that to me? Oh, I'm on a voter roll. So I wonder how many other people that were citizens or non-citizens got those things reminding them that there's going to be a vote coming up for Newsom recall. Okay, August 16th is when we can vote. And you can do a live vote on that day? Okay.
Starts like election month.
That starts election month. Do you know how it works, Mary? Yeah, have you been advised? Well, that's why you were saying that. Oh, so I put you on the spot, but I don't give you credit for being here. Thank you, Mary Beth.
Thank you, Dogma.
I really appreciate
We had some
you.
issues, but we're doing it.
Yes. Okay, so that's a little bit about that, which is Arizona audits. So as of July 19th, I found this on file. It says Arizona audit finds enough tainted ballots to erase Biden's lead as senators call to decertify the election, the presidential election in Arizona. And then I saw a whole bunch of other ones from ABC, MSLSD, and others that were all saying, well, there was a hokey Senate meeting, and they didn't really say to do that, and it's not real. And so
I find it, thank
there's a lot of noise in our news system. So I don't know what's really going to happen, but 74,000 votes weren't sent out to people, but they got them. Huh. And Biden won by 10,000 votes. So 74,000 versus 10,000, if those are negated, Trump won by 60,000. But that's just me with simple math. It's not Common Core, and it's not CRT math.
Remember, math is never has one right answer anymore.
That's what I'm saying. It's never have the right answer. So I read this, I share it with you because I'm hopeful. And whether you like Sidney Powell or
I gotta
not,
drive, I can't drink.
she's still fighting the fight and thinks that there's something coming. And some of us call it a kraken. Some of us call it the truth. I just want to know the truth. I want free and fair elections, and then I'll deal with the results, whatever they are.
China. China is asshole.
Okay, our next meeting is going to be Oreo Express, the border crisis, a personal account, and Eddie knows this gentleman that would be doing this talk, and in fact had worked with him some in the past.
Quite a bit
In the past. And so anyway, we happened to hear him at another meeting and thought it would be interesting for this group to hear him as well. Because when you listen to the major news stations, it's all glittery down there on the south border, and everything's good and wonderful. And this gentleman paints the picture of there's lots of different people coming across, lots of different nationalities, lots of people with illnesses, and they're being put on buses and just being sent to XYZ community in Ohio and Nevada and South Dakota and anywhere they want to get more votes or What do they want? What's their end game? And we all know they're all going to red states.
Yeah,
to,
I'll see. Let me see.
Put debt. I mean, the little town of 1,000 people gets 40 people show up, and they've got to pay for services for them. How do they do that? How do they house them? How do they care for them? Just the human side of it. And then the illegal side of it makes me a little frustrated. So anyway, thanks for coming. Be bold. Be bold. Speak proudly. Contest things that need to be contested.
Sorry, I'm trying to
Mark
raise
your
my hand.
calendars. And one more thought. Who is this?
I'm waiting for lightning to hit that one. George Floyd.
So we just tore down, or we're taking down Teddy Roosevelt, but they're putting up this guy who held guns on people, abused drugs, abused people, stole from people, but now he's a hero. So now I've got other pictures I didn't want to share with you of people sitting with him and like, yeah, wow, yay, and we're memorializing not good American
Well, that
citizens.
Nancy Pelosi one you can't really show because it's a little too dirty.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Sorry, I had to do that.
Okay.
Sorry.
So anyway, and I'll just flash back.
Had to
That
do
was
it.
the week Trump was elected many years ago, and Austria put that on the Matterhorn for us. So the world's waiting for America to be great again. Yes.
Just to leave on a positive note, I was listening to Paul Preston this morning. He has a radio program on from 6 to 9, and I love to listen to him. He was on his program, it came out that the Arizona legislature, means their assembly and the Senate, if they vote to decertify the election, that's it. They have the power to do that. So that is very good news. It doesn't have to go to the Supreme Court. They certify their own Arizona election.
And you do have to remember that there's like 7 other states that are in this process also that could lead to decertification as well.
Trying to get my credit card out. Sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy. Eddie, did you have a comment or a question?
Yeah, I was waiting for you to talk about Georgia. Didn't you hear where they found 60% of the ballots in Georgia had irregularities in them?
60% of the ballots.
Yeah, that's what they said on
I
OAN
wonder
yesterday.
how many of those came from money from Bezos or George Soros or others that were funding improprieties. Yeah.
It's all those people Josh is going to talk about next time.
Yeah. Can't cover everything in one night, right? But God loves us all, and go in peace, and go America, right?
Take care.
And thank you again, Sandy, for an excellent presentation.
Sorry, I had to make that joke about Nancy Pelosi. I don't think some of the people appreciated it. You guys want to see some of the people that are coming? Huh? See that? Was it hi, everybody? How's it going, everyone? There you go. There you go. Did you like that? Did you like that mural that got somehow lightning hit it? Here's some of the people that are here today, guys. They said it was what? But yeah, but just the lightning just happened to strike at that one spot, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But then they'll build 2 or 3 more. The problem. You know, they say everybody should be created equal, but all this.
I saw one where
Wow. All right, so we learned some new stuff today. That camera that I bought is no good. Oh, let me turn drunk. Are you turned up? No, drunk, you're up. So the camera I bought is no good.
You got me on mute.
Do I? No, I can hear you.
It says on the screen I'm muted.
No, that's to mute you. That was just my pointers on there. I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to aim this so you can actually see the people because I had to make the picture so big. But so I figured it out. My iPad is the best camera we got. We learned something new here. Lead paint. Is that why? You like the waitress with the knife? Which waitress? Steve Pence? I'm gonna tell Alexis on you. I thought she was gonna have a little more information. I thought there was something else I was gonna hear, but maybe I missed it.
Maybe it was the terms that they're hiding critical race theory with. Remember when she went over those terms?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
That
I don't know what to
sneak
show you
under?
guys. I'm trying to show you guys the people around here. You know what? Let me flip it around. Ah, damn you. Maybe if I flip it around, put it on its highest part. Let's see if we can show you the crowd. There we go. We can move it down. Earlier we had some lady who had her head was just like right where well, I guess not. It still doesn't work. You just zoom out. I guess that is zoomed out. Well, I'm trying, folks. I'm trying to give you guys more of a shot. Let's see. There we go. We can see the people that are going to leave. There we go. Right? How about that? Now I got to hold my mic. So anyways, drunk, how was work today?
It was okay. We had a pretty big day somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm going to keep the stream up so you guys can share it. You can share it all you want, guys. In fact, I'm going to... Uh-oh. Oh, I was recording that the whole time to my micro SD card. So, I'm going to do something for Drunk. I'm going to have a little fun with Drunk Uncle after this. So, you know, he's going to, after I end this live feed, it's going to take me about 10 minutes to, actually more like 20, 30 minutes to clean all this stuff up. I might call you guys from the truck, go live or something. But I'm going to go somewhere, and we're going to make Drunk's... I think I'll make Drunk's day. When I said, gotta hold the mic, otherwise it'll go, because it's leaning on the mic. But I mean, it's a pretty good crowd. I guess I can start pulling my mic back. Hold on, let me pull that down. There we go. Yeah, I took my back. I have a stick mic, like a Bob Barker mic. I wonder if I could get somebody to hand it to me that's standing in front of me, because I don't want to just pull it. That's what she said. I don't know. Did I go a little too far with my Nancy Pelosi joke? Was that a little much?
She doesn't have a picture with the statue, though, does she?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that it will be too dirty to watch because she's doing something to the statue, kind of, little insinuation there. Talk to you later, Kim Tone. Hey, Kim Tone, you're going to want to come back, though, in about half an hour. What I'm going to go show Drunk Uncle, you guys are going to like. You're going to like. You're going to enjoy it. Trying to see who I can talk into giving me my mic back. I don't know. So do you have any crazy people at work today, Drunk Uncle? I should have asked that.
Oh, the guy that asked a whole shitload of questions came back in.
Again? Second day in a row? Excuse me, ma'am?
Yeah.
I was trying. I was hoping she would.
I have my coworker.
had
Deal
your
with it.
coworker deal with them, you know?
Yeah.
You know what I noticed, like in plumbing, when you can satisfy that one customer that asks a million freaking questions and like is the worst customer, they're gonna tell everybody in the world, hey, they did a great job serving me. They answered all my questions, you know. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it can be bad. So who knows? Who knows? You never know
I
what'll
had
happen.
some Mexicans come in, and I could actually call them Mexicans because I heard them say that they're from
They're from
Mexico.
Mexico, uh-huh.
Yeah. But the only way we could translate was through an app. He didn't know any English, nor did his friends. So we had to translate through an app.
Yeah.
He spent $190 though.
Oh, did he? Well, you know,
Yeah.
those guys make a lot of everybody says, oh, these farm laborers and stuff, these people that come here illegally, they don't make shit. You know what? I got friends that work in the fields. They make a lot of money. Hey, could you do me a favor, sir? Is there any way you could help me out? There's a microphone. Oh. There's a microphone on that chair all the way right by where the computer is. It's attached to this wire. Yeah, could you bring it back to me slowly? Like, thank you. Just watch yourself, watch yourself, watch yourself. I don't want sorry. I know, I wish. Not that technical yet to be wireless. Yeah, you see where the computer is up there? It's sitting on a chair. Thank you, sir. Yay. I got somebody who will bring the mic back. It keeps falling over. Can you tell him the mic is on the chair right there? Sorry. Can you tell him he's looking for the mic so he can hand it to me? Can you tell him where? It's right on that chair. He's walking about up to the chair. There you go. See it? Yeah, thank you. Yeah. If you could unplug it. There we go. Beautiful, thank you. And then
Hey, sunshine.
there we go. It's a miracle. Thank you very much.
I realize it was cable. Last time you had a wireless dude.
I did, because now I'm on this, so I can't do the wireless on this one.
I watched the video that you recorded here last time.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
Still recording?
Yeah, you want me to turn the volume down so you can't hear you? I can mute you if you don't want to be heard.
I don't want to be heard.
Hold on, I'm going to mute him 1 second, guys.
Oh, how's everybody's day? I didn't see much news today, but I was kind of busy. Critical race theory, Rand Paul and Fauci. Oh shit. Kamala Harris met with poll workers. Caitlin Bennett's got a new video out. It's pretty good. Charlie Kirk covered vaccine data. I think the vax might be claiming more bodies than what's being reported. Looks like Rand Paul's going to seek a criminal probe on Fauci. AOC doesn't understand what capitalism is. I think that's all I got for my highlights, or from the news that I've seen today. Indigo, my day was okay. It's going okay. I hope yours was good as well. Hope everybody had a good day. Yeah, Johnny, that was around the number that I heard. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Hmm. Yeah, my brain isn't firing on all cylinders today.
Hello. Sorry about that. He didn't want you guys to hear him. Where's all that sound coming from? Were you able to hear us talking? No?
No.
Okay. All right, guys. Here, I'll show you around the room one more time. We got all these people here. There's Ronald Reagan. Now, he came over and he was telling me about the things I did wrong last time.
Yeah.
So, but it's good because I need to know that information, right? Because you know how we had issues with I guess the speaker wasn't in the screen the whole time last time. Because I wasn't right by the phone. But we're learning. We're learning. How's everybody doing? Anyways. Well, Drunk, are you ready to let me put this away and take you on your special trip?
Sure.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you not saying something?
Yeah, Sam, talking.
Why can't I hear you now? Did I mute you this time? Oh, that's why I muted you.
You hear me now?
Now I can hear you. All right, I just got to wrap up all these cables, put everything back together, and we'll do a live stream from the road. Hello.
Good dopey.
And I think you're going to like it where I'm going, Drunk Uncle.
All right.
I think you're going to... Actually, Steve Pence is going to like it, too. Doing tits money? What does that mean, sheepdog? Anyways, yeah, you know, guys, it is what it is. This is information you guys got to learn. That's all I'm saying, right? You may not be interested in hearing it because it may be boring. But if you don't learn and you don't, then who knows what's gonna happen? And I'm gonna have to go say hi to some people over here. It might be a little bit longer, guys. It might be just a little bit longer. Anyways, I'll be back on. I gotta go pay my bill, load stuff up, and then we'll be out of here, right? No, I'm not going to Mr. D's. No, I'm not going to the bar. I am not going to a bar tonight because I gotta drive. Oh, I always interview this girl. Too bad. Oh well, I won't interview her today. All right, guys. We'll see you in like half an hour. You got anything to say, Drunk? Because when I'm doing it in half an hour, I'll be on the road, and you won't be able to do any of your sounds and hapnetics and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So.
Right on. All right, guys. We'll be back in just